Started. All right, so let me start from afresh. Okay, so we are going to be looking into how we can create virtual museum, and I have my 3D model right in here, which is called Gallery VR, and I already told us that we can get our 3D model from places like Sketchfab and TurboSquid. You can get any 3D model from here. Let's go back. You can check. You have TurboSquid. You have Sketchfab. You have even free 3D. Let's try free 3D. Free 3D. You can get a hall. I'm pretty sure a gallery hall. Nothing is found. Let's just type in gallery. Oh, so we have VR. Well, I don't think VR hall. It's not here. My bad. Okay, so you can get some halls actually, or if you have a 3D modeler, you can have them to create you 3D models of a hall to your taste, right? And you import those hall that hall into your game, which I have done. Okay, this is my own hall, my own gallery, not really like a hall though, but my own gallery, which in this gallery we are going to be adding pictures, adding up 3D models and some other stuff. Okay, and people can move around to see them. All right, so after we imported this, we said we needed to move around in our gallery. So and there is a need to have a third-person controller in our gallery. So we came over to Asset Store. We opened up Asset Store. Oh, see, giving us that issue again. We opened up Asset Store, and in our Asset Store we typed in standard assets, and we downloaded the standard asset, or we opened up in Unity. We imported it, which if you look through is actually in here, or third-person controller in here. Now, when we imported this third-person controller, additional component also installed alongside with it. If you look at the top, for the third-person controller, look at the top here, for the third-person controller to work, Cine machine has to be involved, has to be part of it. Okay, this is responsible for everything, everything around the cameras and all those stuff like that. So it's responsible. So you needed not to install this, but it comes along with the third-person controller. If you're a professional, yes, you can you can walk around with the Cine machine. Okay, but this is pre-installed. So now that's bringing us to speed. Now we also deleted our camera in our hierarchy. The camera that came with the scene, we don't need that because there are cameras that is called up with our third-person controller, which is managed by the Cine machine. Okay, so there is no need to have that camera right there. So now let's import our third-person controller. As usual, if you notice in the upper class when we walked around terrain, we created an empty game object and called it player because okay, player, yes, in this player we are going to, this empty game object is going to serve as a parent to all to our third-person controller when we import it, because we are going to have a number of game objects here when we import. So I'm going to explain to you. I'm going to show you what I mean. So if you come over to tools, right, you will see starter assets. starter assets, you have the reinstall dependency, you have reset third person controller, you have reset third person controller capsule. We want to click on this reset third person controller amateur. You click on it and you have a whole lot of stuff called up into your hierarchy. Where you have your player follow camera, you have your main camera, and you have your player amateur. So I want us to highlight everything, this three stuff. Player, you can choose to leave it like this, it doesn't change anything, but because I like to clean up my space and have everything clean, and I don't like this place to be too busy, that is why I created this empty game object called player. So I'm going to drag this and put it on top of the player, thereby making the player the parent of our camera. Awesome. So now if you click on this player amateur, double click on it, you're going to see that your player amateur is out or is not actually on our it's not actually in our gallery. You see, this is where our gallery is. You can see this tiny stuff here, and this is where our player is. So what we're going to do, this most times this is actually you know, takes a whole lot of time. So what we're going to do is to first and foremost, let's see, we can delete this. Let's call up our gallery again, VR, drag it down. Let's see, and I think we can do this here. Once you call up anything, you call up that third person controller, you make it a child of this, automatically aligns into this. But how do we get that done? Let's see whether we can still get that done by clicking on this, whether it will install in this. I don't know. No, it didn't. Okay, we have this. It didn't. Anyways, so we are just going to align them by ourselves. So to do that, click on it again. It's far off. This is where I was saying our gallery is. So to do that, we just highlight everything, drag it and put it inside the player. Oh, we deleted our player. Drag everything, put it into the player. Now that it's in the player, now you can now drag our third person game object as one entity before you see their tree. So if you are to drag all of them, you have to highlight all of them to drag, but because they are in our player right now, we just drag only the player. So we come over here, you drag, okay, if you click on, I clicked on this, that's why it moved this way. So drag this, let's see. I know obviously it's not on it. If we zoom, it's still far off. Okay, okay, another thing we can do, let's see, let's just drag it in here. Okay, and we have to do lots of adjustments to it. Ensure that it's close. So once we, all right. Okay, it think it's on YouTube. Awesome. It's on there. Well, you can still drag it. Okay, there you go. We have it in here right now, and just like we did with the terrain, what did you do with the terrain again? Yeah, okay, just like we did with the terrain, like I said, we needed not to code anything to get the third person controller to work. We just we just open it up and it start working. So let's just try it out before we make some modifications. Okay, so it went through it went through the model. It's supposed to land on the model, and that is because we have not added something called mesh colliders. Okay, mesh collider is what is responsible to make you, like, is a component that's responsible that you enables you not to pass through the wall or go through things. So there are different type of mesh colliders. So let's click here, click on our gallery. In our inspector, you type in collider, and a collider, we have mesh collider here. We have different type of colliders that you add to. If it's a box, you add a box collider. If it's a capsule, you add the capsule collider. So, but this is a flat surface, okay? So let's add a mesh collider. But there is an issue here. I feel that because this 3D model is already, meshed together, and we can't really pick the different components. We can't pick the wall, for instance. We can select different components. So I hope if I add this mesh collider, it doesn't affect everything. It doesn't affect this. But let's see whether that truly works. So mesh collider has been added. So let's try it again. Oh, awesome. So it didn't affect anything. So it landed. Okay. So as you can see, we have our third person controller, and he's a robot. Now to move around, you use your WASD key to move around. If you want to move forward, you use your W key, and you use your mouse to look around. So what I'm doing now is looking around, and that is because I'm moving my mouse. Okay, I'm moving my mouse. So let me walk. So I use my mouse as a direction. So you see what I talked about the mesh collider. We can't pass through here. We can't pass through this entrance here because there is a mesh collider. The mesh collider is added to everything. So that means we are going to, you see, we can't even move. See, let's see. All right, we pass through here. Well, we pass through here, but we can't pass through the window. Jump. Your space bar is to jump. Oh, we passed through the window. Awesome. Well, I think this is fine. We don't really need to do any other thing again. Let's see whether we can pass through here. Yes, awesome. Remove it. All right, so awesome. So everything is fine. Great. Now, if you look through, I think I'm going to have to remove, let me bring it out. I think I'm going to have to remove this camera, this component from this player. Let me remove it for a reason. Let me delete this. Now, so that I can pick up the component I want directly. Okay, I can do that. So if you look, he's facing away. So this is supposed to be like the entrance, telling you welcome. So let's direct it. Let's bring it down a bit and change his direction to face. Awesome. So now we have this guy facing in here, facing the welcome notice that we have right in here. The next thing we want to do is that we don't want him to be a robot, right? We want to have more like an actual. Okay, let's align this. Actually, let's bring him up a bit. Okay, awesome. Yeah, awesome. We don't want him to be a robot. We want to have an actual a humanoid model. Of course, this is a humanoid model. So what we are going to do is, I hope I remember how to get that done, is to go back to Mizamo. Go to Mizamo, Mizamo.com. I think I have some models. I really don't have to download that. Let me look through. Okay, I have Mizamo models. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to use this guy called Dwarf. It's actually a dwarf. So, like, yes, you can come to Mizamo to download your model. Let me quickly show us how to get that done. Okay, while that is opening, I really don't know why it's taking this long. I guess maybe it's my network. But can you all hear me? Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Okay. Okay. So well, it's opening. So while it's doing that, let me just import my 3D model that I have here. The dwarf. I'll just drag it in here. Yeah, it's in here already. So what I want to do is to go over to player mature. Come over to player mature, go to geometry, click on geometry. You will have this guy here. Now drag your 3D model that you imported from Mizamo on top of this geometry. Of course, I have once you drag it, it will be in the same position with your other model. Well, as you can see, I have this old man. I don't know why they call him dwarf. So let's extract the texture. It has a texture in it. So click on here. Click in your asset. Click on the dwarf. Click on materials. Let's create a folder for this 3D model so that we don't mess up our assets. So just say model, then drag your dwarf model into the 3D the folder you created. Now click on material in your inspector, then click on extract texture. Of course, it will extract the texture into the model folder we've created. So select the folder. So give it a minute. There you go. It has extracted this texture, and you click on fix. So yeah, we have this old man with a cigar in his mouth. Anyways, let's see. So what we want to do is that if you click on the player amateur and look through, let me see. All right, if you click on the player amateur here, this player amateur, look through the inspector. Give me a minute. Okay, if you look through the inspector, you have an animator component here, right? And this animator component is the component for this robot that we have. Let me drag the robot outside. Okay, let me just drag our dwarf aside. Yes, it's for these robots that we have. So what we want to do, what we just want to do is to just change. If you look through our dwarf, right? Okay, so in our, you click on the dwarf again. We are not done. You come to animation. You click on animation. Sorry, or you click on rig. Then you want to convert this to humanoid, right? You want to convert it to humanoid, so you click on generic and you have the humanoid. Click on it, you click on apply. So it gives you all the features that the humans actually have to this 3D model, right? So once you come over here, click on this button here, you have this dwarf avatar created. It's created because we converted it to humanoid model. So if you come over here at the top in your hierarchy, at the top over here in the player amateur, you have the amateur. Before we had the amateur, this amateur for this robot. Now we have the dwarf amateur, so replace it with the dwarf amateur. Then just hide, just click on this amateur here, this robot amateur, then hide it. Now let's see whether this works. Okay, this guy is, you can see, so let's, awesome. Okay, so now we have our grandpa. Oh, I think you're frozen there a bit. Okay, so if you haven't seen the screen before, you didn't know what happened. After we added all those features, we have our grandpa here. It's animated, as you can see. Then you can move around. He's walking around. Okay, he's walking around. You can even make grandpa jump. Yeah, grandpa jumped. Okay, so now that you have done this, you have successfully changed, you have successfully replaced the robot you have there with your own 3D model. Now let's see how we can add pictures to the wall, right? Add some other elements to the wall to make it look beautiful. Like, of course, the purpose of it being a gallery is because you're coming to see things, okay, and there is nothing right now on the wall. All right, so now that we have successfully replaced our robot there, so let's see how we can add some, pictures to the wall, okay? And now what we are going to do is to come over into your hierarchy, create an empty game object, and name it photo galleries. Or photo frames, name them, I think, name them photo frames. Yeah, photo frames, because we want to create frames, right? We want to create frames. So we are going to be adding the frames at okay, we are going to be adding the frames here. We're going to be putting frames here and also opposite it as well. Then some other parts of the model. So how to get that done is that you, in this empty game object, create a 3D object cube. Create a cube. Where are you? Okay, there you go. We have our cube. In this cube, right, we want to make some adjustment to this cube. So just expand this cube, then completely reduce it. No, let's not do this. Let's see. Let's look into our 3D object again. Plane. Let's create a plane. Yes. Replace it, delete this cube, this plane, just turn it upside down, ensure it's at what degree is this? It's 90 degrees at your rotation. 90, perfect. Your rotation, reduce the size a bit. Then we are going to place this frame here. We are going to place a frame here. Okay, so you drag it in here. Put it in here. Okay. You take it to the wall, drag it to the wall. Don't get into the wall yet. Awesome. It's on the wall right now. So we expand it. We can choose to make 2 frames on this, this section here where they actually provided for us. We can, drag it here and make another frame there. But I'm just going to make one, and you, in your project, you're going to use a description too. So we just drag it and fill up the space here, not completely though. So if you look, we successfully have our frame here. Right, so we just name it frame 1 so that we know what we're doing. Then duplicate it. You have frame 1, so just come here and say frame 2. Then drag this duplicate to the other angle. So we have frame 1, we have frame 2. Now what we want to do now, we want to add pictures to this, okay? We want to add pictures to this. So come over here into your assets, create a folder and name it material. Materials. In this folder here, create a material and name it frame 1. Ensure the material is the same name with your frames. Okay, I have frame 1, frame 2. So I'm going to give mine as frame 1. Then create another material. If you duplicate this material, if you add any texture to it, it will appear on the second duplicate. So that's why I don't want to duplicate it. So just create another frame, another material rather, and name it frame 2. Frame 2. Awesome. So now let's go to Google and look out for some nice pictures. Nice pictures. Pictures. HD. Should we do HD? Okay, great. So we have these cool photos here. So I want to do, I think I like this. So let's wait for it to load up. Awesome, this is cool, but this is in the square format, so that means we are just going to do some modifications. So let's visit the site. Perhaps we can get a number of photos from there. Obviously this is in a portrait mode. For desktop, okay, let's click on it. Let's see how it looks. Oh, indeed, this is portrait. No, I want it to be in landscape. Okay, this is mobile, so you click on desktop. You have 2 options, your mobile and desktop. So click on desktop, I guess. Awesome. It's beautiful. So we have okay, I think let me just do this because our frame in this is beautiful. This is awesome. So let's click on download, and it's not that heavy. Let's see. It's just 1.2 megabyte. Okay, so let's do 2 of these. Let's do another one. Okay, I think I want to do this. I'm just in love with nature, even if this is not real. Okay. Alright, awesome. So we have these two frames here. So let's just drag both of them and put into our project. Just drag them here. Awesome. So now they have been dragged into our project. So if you click on frame 1, you can drag this into the albedo, into here, right? There are so many ways you can actually create a material, first and foremost, right? But the reason why we created frames is because we want to follow the right way. If you drag this picture directly on top this plane here that we created, which we have named as plane, we named it as plane. Oh, frame. Sorry. Okay. I have double E there. Does it really matter? Okay. Alright. So we can drag this, but it will create a material for us. But when it creates a material, the material will be the name of this picture. Okay. So that is why I don't want to do that, because if it does, if we have a lot of materials here, we are going to be confused. So it's better you name your frames, your material, right, according to the game object you want to apply the material to. So we want to apply this frame 1 material to this frame game object that we have here. So we just drag this here. So you see it has been added to it. Once you drag it here, or you can just click on this tiny button here. Click on this tiny button here, and to open up everything, all the images, everything that we have in this game, everything here. So you can select, see you have already selected this, right? Now you now in turn drag this frame 1 to this frame 1 material to frame 1 here. Once you do, you see that it appears here. Okay, see that it appears here, but it's stretched. Well, this is just an example. You can choose to do anything you want to do with it. I can adjust it a bit like this. But anyway, let it just be that. So the second one, so we cannot drag this other one on it, and we cannot drag it over here. We have this, right? So let's try this out. Okay, so where is, so let's go through this route. There you go. We have this very beautiful picture. Beautiful. Awesome. The man with the cigarette in his mouth is actually, having a feel of this picture. He wants to buy it. Actually, he's a millionaire. So we can, we can put in pictures everywhere. Why is this glitching? What is this? Well, I'll look into that. So you see, that's how you actually add pictures. Okay, you create. You can also add this to any 3D object. Okay, to plane, to cylinder, to anything. But because it's picture, we needed to add it to a flat surface. So you use a plane for that. You use a plane for that. Okay. Now let's look at why our player is actually glitching. It's not really glitching though, but okay, the reason why it's glitching, right? If I click on not glitching, I really don't know. It's not in the okay, let me just play this to just explain what I'm talking about. Once you click on your play, of course it moves. Your W, it moves. You click on D, you see it just rolls like that. Okay, it's not supposed to be so. It's supposed to just turn. Okay, I think the reason why that happened was because if you look through, if I let me check this. This is our robot, and this 3D model, this guy here, is supposed to be at this exact position where this robot is, but I dragged it out here. That is why. So if I drag our dwarf back to the exact position where our robot is, yes, to the exact position, let me hide the robot. Save. Let's try it again. You see, it's not having that issue again. It's just turning. Okay, so yes, that was the issue. That was the issue. All right. So, any question so far? So, with your 3D model, we can add up another model here. Sorry, we can add up another picture here. Well, I think this is just a sample of what you are expected to do. You can add up pictures anywhere. We can even add up 3D models. Let's artifacts. Let's go back to Google. Let's look for let's just say Sketchfab. Let's go back to sketchfab.com. Let's see whether we can see any artifacts. Artifacts. Okay, we have. How are these artifacts? Yeah, we have this arrow. We have okay, let me look through my gallery if I have anything about that. Let me see. Okay, I think I have this African male here. Should be here. African male here. Yeah, so I have, oh, this is a GF. I need Aztec. Okay, let's see. Model is not here. Okay, yeah. So we have this Egyptian head here. Let's add it up. Did we create a model here? Okay, awesome. So all you have to do is to drag the artifact here. Where are you? Uh-oh, it's so big. Wow. Okay, obviously it's on top. Yeah, there you go. It's on top the our gallery. So just reduce this Egyptian stuff. It's pretty big. So obviously this is a gallery, so we can have anything in there. So yeah, so we have this Egyptian head here. We can put it anywhere. We can put it here. We can add a texture to it. Let's see. Do we have a texture to the African head? Okay, yeah, I think we do. Yes, there's a texture here, so can drag it down here, then drag it over to it. There you go. So we have this. So you can have 3D models in here. You can have anything. So in your projects, which I will share the documents. Which I'll share what you're expected to do. You can have anything in there. So there you go. So this is our beautiful Egyptian head. You can even make it metallic. Let's see. I think we created, the moment you drag that, the material was created for it. So yeah, this is the material, Egyptian head. So let's make it metallic. To make it metallic, if you click on the material, you come over to inspector. You can drag metallic to the extreme, then drag smoothness to the extreme. As you can see, it's glossy. Okay, so if we play it and move towards it, you can see it's glossy. Beautiful, right? So yes, so this is what you are expected to do as your